Fancy intro music, yeah! Woo! Wee doggy, it's raining really hard outside right now. Hopefully you don't hear it, and also hopefully the power doesn't go out as we try to do this video. We're bringing you back another Bad Crew video, but changing it up a little bit. Let me know what you think of the format of this video after you watch it in the comment section below. And today we're gonna be talking about good crews on the wrong ship. I decided, hey, because the entire point of this is to be educational, one of the ways that a lot of people learn about crews and try to crew out is by seeing other people do things and then copying that crew. And there's nothing wrong with that strategy, especially if it beats you. It's probably a good idea to take a look and figure out what's going on. So we're gonna try to look at a few videos or a few picks today, talk about the officers and how it works and why it did or did not for that particular ship. And the first one we're going to start off with is a Centurion running Gorkon, Kurla, and Chang. Now, if you remember, I am not the biggest fan of Chang because of how he works. Basically, when you do get him to proc, it depends on the weapon that he procs, then gets delayed the next time. Example, if he gets procced on weapon 2, but weapon 2 doesn't fire the next round, then he's not skipping anything. But if weapon 1 fires and fires next round, he'll skip that one. So it's really tricky with how exactly he'll play out and work. But here's why this is not necessarily the best loadout for the Centurion. I don't necessarily mind Gorkon because he's going to give you the chance to deal a hull breach. You obviously got full synergy here, and you're going for that critical build, which is fine. But then you're comparing it or pairing it with Kurla, who only works with kinetic weapons. Plus 40% critical to kinetics. Now that's at rank 4, obviously. That is not what we're doing here because the Centurion does not have kinetic weapons. So obviously that becomes problematic in our loadout there. Man, that is like, whew, I don't know if it's making it through because I haven't heard it, but my goodness, it's loud. And if it isn't, shout out to the Audio Technica being really good at diluting everything except my voice. Ooh, that like scared me. My goodness.
It was scary. Rock me, daddy.
So this is a good crew that you would see maybe on a Saladin or even a Bortus, a more kinetic based boat. That would make more sense. Moving on to the next one, we got an Enterprise in Exchange Gamma running Joaquin, Yoakum, and Katie. I can't ever pronounce the names. So Joaquin here. Then we got, I'm sorry, it's Otto, not Joaquin. So Otto, Joachim, and then Katie. Now the tricky part here is this is a kind of like a starter base hitting crew. When attacking the station, 50% chance of greatly increasing the mitigation of the first round of combat. The tricky part here is 1, there are no bases in Exchange Gamma. 2, this is not a PvP crew loadout at all. And number 3, you're still not running morale on the Enterprise, which is a key for the Enterprise. Now, you do see when attacking the station, increases critical hit damage by 25%. The only thing I could think of is maybe Jedi got hit with this at their base and went, wow, this was really strong, and they decided to copy it. But this is actually a crew that you use when you're attacking a base that has no ships in it, and that gives you hopefully the bonus that you're looking for in this instance. But here, it isn't really doing you much at all, so not a good loadout. Moving on to the third one, because you're trying to fly through. We got a sarcophagus that actually attacked this Enterprise in Esto, which is deep Romulan space. This is nowhere near territory. This guy flew a long way to die, like a long way to die. A very, very long way. And I'm going to show you exactly how far Esto is. So here's territory capture where you want the Sark to be. Like this is where it's only useful. Esto is way, way, way out here. Pretty sure Esto's like this one. Is that what it is? I'd have to pull it back up. But Esto is way deep here in, there it is, way out here in Romulan space in the deep areas of space. You need warp range 75. You'd have to get here with your new Franklin A. But anyway, let's talk about the crew. Yuki, Kirk, and Sharvanik. I know exactly what this crew was. I know for a fact what it was. This is an anti-auger crew on an Enterprise, and it's actually a good crew. Like, this is not a bad crew at all. Yuki's going to give you your shield strip as well as a bonus against Romulans, which the auger ship obviously is. You can get Sharvanik for the piercing versus the armor piercing, so that's going to be really good versus the group that we're hitting or the ship that we're hitting in the auger. And then you've got Kirk for your morale. So this is a great Enterprise loadout. There's just no Enterprise there. It's a sarcophagus. So I give them credit for actually having a really good crew loadout. It's just purpose to one specific thing. Remember Sharvanik with the bonus to armor piercing. That's going to be really good for fighting those augers. And then you've got Yuki who, remember, Yuki is good if she's at tier 1, she's a good card because you've got the shield strip with the captain's ability, and then you've got Romulan Grudge, making her a double whammy versus Romulan ships. This is a really good anti-augur loadout, but ain't no augur there. Like that's just an Enterprise. And according to the person who sent me this, the sarcophagus attacked the Enterprise, so it didn't go very well. Shout out to the Enterprise also, who is loaded out for anti-explorer runs like versus the ISS Jelly or another Enterprise. So yeah, not bad crews here, just on the wrong ship. Moving on to the fourth one, we've got a Saladin level 29 running the burning set and not running, I mean, for the starter burning set, this is not an incorrect loadout. It's not. This is Kumak as captain. You got Vimit on the side, and then Nero. Now, as it's worded, this should be a really good anti-morale loadout, but because we know how Nero works, where he doesn't actually allow everybody to take advantage of his burning every round, it's not as beneficial. But in terms of being paired together for a starter set, this is a good starter set for, that you'll see like on a lot of, I'd say the Kamari, maybe the Legionary, you'll see this a little bit. And Kumak is a very good card. You'll see this on a lot of battleships, especially with how Kumak works, and then Vimit with the shield strip. Keep in mind, the Saladin is designed for very short battles. This crew loadout is actually designed for longer battles. Vimit's trying to strip the shields, Nero's doing the 1% in the background burning, and then Kumak, with his captain's ability and his officer ability, are trying to actually prolong the fight by increasing the stats, thus increasing your hull health, increasing your shield health, trying to make things go a lot longer by increasing mitigation. So it's on the wrong ship here. It's flipped around. Usually with the Saladin, you're trying to go with a build that can kill as fast as possible. Try and take it down quickly in round 1 and then maximum round 4. And here you're kind of not doing that. Here you're really going for a longer, more prolonged fight with the Nero and burning builds, which most of those typically are more designed for 5, 10, 15 rounds, whereas the Saladin, like I said, is more of a one hit, one done. Now, it still beat the heck out that Fortunate, so shout out to it. And that Fortunate's really loaded out not well at all. But the Fortunate, yeah, well, it's a Fortunate. I'm not going to critique a Fortunate too much. But the Saladin has a good crew, just the wrong ship. Anyway, what do y'all think of this theme that we're running with this whole changing it up and stuff? I actually like doing this. Here's one that I'm really excited about talking about. Burnham, GG, and Stamets on a Vidar. So this crew actually has use. And I know a lot of people have kind of thrown the Star Trek Discovery officers to the side for a while. GG obviously is the best burning officer in the game. Then Michael Burnham is captain, increasing the impulse speed by 15. Now this is, I actually don't have an issue with on the Vidar, this one particular card, but I actually like this more on things like, believe it or not, I actually like this more on something like an Augur, just because the Augur is so slow in territory capture. This gives a little bit of a boost, and then a boost to the attack of all officers on your ship from the opponent's shield health. So once again, another type of strip there. That's at tier 1. We know GG does burning, and then we get Paul Stamets with this snarky genius when defending against a player, decreases the opponent's armor piercing by 40%. So like I said, I kind of like this as like a backup or secondary Augur, or maybe even a tertiary Augur crew in territory capture. I really don't have a problem with this loadout. I just don't think it's very effective on a Vidar. The only thing really getting an advantage here is the impulse boost to the already very, very fast Vidar. This would actually look better on the ship that's fighting it, which is the Bortus. And I think overall, this is a fine loadout. This is an officer loadout that you get it like these officers are still like tier 1, and maybe the Stamets is tier 3 or something. And it could actually be beneficial for a battleship in the 20s. It's just simply not very good on the Vidar here as a whole for the reasons listed. Still, not a bad crew, just, hey, wrong ship. Anyway, last one we're going to do today, and this is when we're doing Kirk, Spock, Khan on everything, and it doesn't go on everything. It doesn't. You're doing Kirk, Spock, Khan on an Augur here. This is Ciradio. Now, keep in mind that Kirk, Spock, Khan is a generic run that we'll put on a lot of things. It's a generic run for Armadas. It is a generic run for PvP. But the issue with making it a generic run for PvP on this ship is that you're taking away the Augur's ability to grow its damage cumulatively with its Obliterator weapon. So you don't have burning here at all, which means that you're not taking advantage of the one thing that the Augur can do to actually get really, really strong. So Kirk, Spock, Khan, not really a great loadout here, which is why it lost to another Augur of the same tier. Yes, I know everybody will say, well, there's 4 levels in difference. I really don't think that Even if they were the same level at 35, it would have made a difference, because you got Nero, even though he's not doing super well because his burning is awful. 5 of 10, great captain card, and then Sharvening. This is another, this is for fighting other augurs. I mean, and it works. And you see the other one didn't. But I want to know what you think of the new format to this one. Should we do this, or should we just go back to calling out bad crews that are pure bad? I like both. I really like this idea of looking at some good crews, just changing out how people deploy them a little bit. I think it'll help people get a better understanding of how to play with crews in the game. If you liked it, hit that like button. Live long and prosper. Stay safe out there, Space Cowboys. And we'll catch you on the next video of Star Trek Fleet Command. I don't know what that was, but you got it. Ha ha!
I would like to request to Scopely to add more Klingons to the game. That is what I was told to do, and so I am doing it. Which, is not maybe the best thing as a leader to just do what you're told, but it seems like a good request to make, to add more Klingons. Everything is better with Klingons, am I right? I am right, because I'm a Klingon. Klingon mach tach judge! We are Klingons, let it remain. All right, Laurel's on a roll today. She's very excited.
An even better outro than the intro. Yeah!